Barrel.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the 10X Business Summit wrap-up. My name is Jared Glant. I'm the president of Grant Cardone Enterprises. If you were live on this amazing business summit that we had yesterday, then you may have heard me in the background. But man, what an awesome group of people that we had sharing. I mean, always listening and learning from Grant is amazing. You know, we went out to lunch right after at this sushi restaurant right up the road from his house. And we were having this conversation. I'm like, man, you realize that you are like the next, like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, like you're that guy that people are always going to talk about. And you've just done such a massive thing. I mean, the real estate and all of our businesses. I mean, we built something bigger than anybody else had in this space. And we had the idea that I need to start journaling and going back and telling all the stories of he and I when we were just getting everything rolling. So keep an eye out for that. But I just wanted to welcome everybody here. I'm going to spend a few minutes today really just going over like rapid fire Q&A from the most frequently asked questions that we had. Some of these are focused around people's individual situations. Some of them were focused on the material. Some of them were focused on the program that we made the offer to. So I'm going to do my best here to rifle through these. You know, I've been with Grant for 12 years. And over those 12 years, I've gotten to see all of the rules, all of these strategies, these rules that he has about operating in his life and the way that he approaches business and the way that he approaches sales and marketing and money and scaling and all these things that we talked about yesterday. And I've gotten to see the result of those things take place over time. And I can tell you firsthand, not just from seeing the company work, but seeing myself grow and develop, like this stuff works 100%, unequivocally. Like when you put the information to work, it works. It's like cooking. You follow the recipe, it works. And so I just hope that you guys can take from yesterday the fact that the information that's being shared to you by people that are in the destination or in the direction of where you want to go, it's the best way to get where you want to go faster. And so I'm just going to dive in here and start blowing through some questions. And hopefully these are some of the questions that you guys had. I did talk to Grant before I went live today, and I asked him to make an exception on something. And so I want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. The offer came down when we wrapped up yesterday, but I got him to open the offer up for today. So if you go to grantcardone.com/wealth, you'll still have the ability to take advantage of the offer the way it existed yesterday, 100% the same. And so I really just, I encourage you guys, take advantage of this. Don't sleep on it. This program, this boot camp is, this is the thing that will get you rolling, getting access to some of this information. I know for sure when we talk about confidence and conversion, you know, there's 3 or 4 things that if you just took that like one piece from that session, then it could be a big game changer for you. I know that the information in there has made me millions of dollars. And I really want you guys to take advantage of that because it's a lot of really good information. It's the best offer we make all year long, $297, plus you get the 100% credit in the store, the 3-day interactive boot camp, the business builder certification, the financial freedom certification. It's hundreds of hours of content. So take advantage of that while the offer is still live. And I will get into the questions. Let me just start here. This question is from, let's see here. Who is this question from? This question is from, it looks like they didn't put the name here. Okay. So I'm 49 years old. Is it too late to do this? The answer is no. We have people in our community that are in their 60s that are just getting started. I mean, it's kind of hard to get around the question of, I wish I would have had this sooner, but the best time to start is now. And for those of you who are, in your teens or 20s. This is like, if you can get this information locked in now, it'll make all the difference in the world to you. And at 49 years old, it's not too late. You 100% can still make this happen. But now is the time. You got to move. Question 2. I'm 19 years old. I have a company with $60,000 in debt. We made $130,000 in 3 months. I'm wondering if I should pay off all my debt or spend it elsewhere because it has more value now. Look, one of the things that Grant talks about the most is it's most important to pay yourself. He's always honored every debt that he has, but you have to look at how can you take that 130 and continue to grow it. Focus on first expansion of revenue always. And as long as you have that line fixed, as long as you are moving in the direction of creation of revenue, then expenses and income or expenses and debts will not be the problem. Most people just get into debt and they never figure out the income equation, and that's what gets them into problems. Another question here. Let's see here. Is this event, the boot camp, is this live or virtual? I live in the UK. Yeah, so this event is 100% virtual. We have a fully interactive studio that we use, a multi-million-dollar piece of technology that allows us basically to bring everybody from all around the world into this 3-day event. We run it like a live event. We give a lunch break during the middle of the day. You can see Johnny's got a video playing here. Everybody's coming in from Zoom in their house. We do something really cool, though. We have everybody do a virtual check-in. So you actually go to a Zoom call to check in the week prior to the event, to get your, basically instruction on how you log into the portal, and a little bit of pre-work to get you ready for the actual event itself. So we call it interactive boot camp for a reason. It's because this event is, because of the technology, we have the ability to be more interactive than we do even at a live event. Because you think a live event, if we have 1,000 people there and we want to do a breakout for 20 minutes, it's really difficult to move everybody away so they can go off into areas where they're not talking over each other. And then to get everybody back, just moving that amount of people is really hard. In this platform, with a click of a button, we can take the thousands of people that'll be there and we can put them up into groups of 5 people, where just like you're on a Zoom call, you see 5 little video boxes and you're communicating with everybody. So it is fully virtual. The event runs between, I believe it's 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we started a little later in the day to help out with some of the other time zones. So yeah, fully virtual event here. Next question. How's everyone getting cash for real estate down payment right now, not to accumulate assets for passive income? Right now, to accumulate assets for passive income. Well, there's 2 ways you get down payment money. Number 1 is you put it in yourself, or number 2 is you raise it. So you'll often hear about a term called real estate syndications. It's basically a group of people who get together and they pool all their money so that they can go buy a bigger deal than they can on their own. So the answer to that is you either put the money in yourself or you go out and you raise it. Let's see. Next question here. How do you build your network from the ground up? At the moment, I have 0 network at all. Yeah, look, like you just have to get connected. One of the things about everything that we do in 10X world is that we provide opportunities for people to connect with each other. So let me just see here. Grant's texting me. We provide people with the ability to connect with each other. So we build a network for you, and then you come into our world and you use it. This event that we run right here, this interactive boot camp, we literally set this up so that over the course of the 3 days and all the breakouts you're doing, you get to meet at least 50 people. You get to meet them, you get to know their names, you get to understand their backgrounds, their challenges, their struggles. Like, we're literally working through the material in this workbook together as a group, and you get to share all that information and share that learning experience with people from around the country. So it's a great way to collaborate. It's a great way to connect and use the opportunity that we've created for you. Next question here. I have $80K in an old employer 401k sitting there. Do I roll it into my new employer 401k and take a loan out on it, or do I just take the penalty and use the cash? Grant would tell you, get rid of it, pay the penalty, get the cash out, and then invest the cash in real estate. You get paid every month from it, and you get the depreciation plus the appreciation over time. I think real estate's doubled in value every 10 years for the last 70 years or something like that. So it's a great opportunity for you to grab that out. Ryan Secco, who Grant, you hear Grant talk about regularly. He's Grant's right hand in the real estate game. He had him sell a bunch of junk real estate, paid tax on it, and moved it all into real estate into good quality real estate. Because it was just a better vehicle for him. Grant's sister, Diane, she had her money. I think she had a couple $100,000 in a 401k. He got her to pay the penalty on it and then roll it over into real estate. And I think he took 400,000 into 4 or 5 million. So that would be the advice GC would give you.
Jared, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, look who it is. Grant Cardone, live in the flesh. How you doing, brother?
We're doing frequently asked questions. Or
yeah, I've got
questions from the audience. I hope you guys don't mind I'm eating.
No, not at all. It's good to have you here. So we just went through, and I had the team go through yesterday while we were live and just pull the questions that were being asked the most. Some of them are about personal situations, some of them are about the content, and then some of them were about the offer and trying to figure out, the logistics of how to make it work. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat now. I can't see your chat right now, but I have my team managing the chat as well, and they can help answer questions for you as well. Question. Let's see if we can get another question here. Is the workbook going to be mailed to all of us or just the VIP? That's a great question. So the workbook that we give you, it's 114 pages. It goes out in the swag box that we mail out every single attendee to this conference, to this live virtual event. They get this box mailed to them. So inside the box is a workbook, there you go. He's got it. A workbook, a water bottle, a book, a 10X flag. We put a bunch of swag in there, but the big thing is the workbook goes out to everybody because that is the kind of the cornerstone of this workshop is the material we're going through. And when you fill all that workbook in, then you have something that for life you can come back to and reflect on everything that you learned.
If I could just share some of the stuff in the book. Yeah. This is the LIDS assessment that our partner at Cardone Ventures uses on business owners. Everybody has a LIDS assessment, very valuable. Brandon, by the way, works with companies that pay him $400,000 to get this one assessment into the business. I'm just going to show you some more chapters here. How to make the most out of the workshop. We'll go over that. Very, very important. Had I done this before I went to college, I would have gotten 100 times more out of college. I just didn't go there prepared. Day one, goal setting journal. Okay, you'll literally sit down and write your goals, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do. The personal finance session. Okay, this is the first 3 hours where we go over personal finance, the way I would set up my finances today if I was starting over from nothing. If I just had a job, if I was a millionaire, I literally go into all these different scenarios, regardless of where you are. Remember on the circle yesterday, I said, look, you're always starting at zero. Jared's worth $15 million today. He's got a job that pays him a bunch of money, but we would take him back to zero. Where he is now is zero. And he's going to build from there, right? So you could be starting negative. You could be starting like I did with probably $135,000 worth of debt. Not only was my debt negative, my reputation was negative. I didn't know how to even really hold a job. I didn't bring anything. So in that session also, we're going to go over the 5 wealth classes. Man, this first 3 hours is crazy.
He has a formula in there that we go through that basically tells you it's the wealth math, essentially. Like you literally map out exactly how much money you need to make based on the 40% rule, based on some other proprietary math that he goes through. That's basically like, this is the math that he used. I know this because it's the same math he told me to use to hit my targets. So it got me 100 grand in the bank in about 18 months that I was able to invest in my first deal with him about 12 years ago. 10 years ago.
And then at the end of this, what we do, these are the exercises we keep talking about. These are done in breakouts. So we'll break you guys out into groups of 5 or 6 or 7. This is where you get to start networking with people. We rotate who runs that group, so everybody gets involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start sharing, okay, what's the gap between your current income and your target income? Okay, what I mean is, let's say your current income is $4 grand and your target income is 40 grand a month. Then we start filling in, okay, who do you need to meet? What do you need to do? What do you need to know? What do you need to learn? Like, this is so valuable. That's why we're so excited about, and this is why we made it so affordable for everybody to do, because there's nobody that can't afford the $249 or $297, whatever the number is. Stupid.
Yeah.
If you can't afford that, you just don't want to. Okay. The second thing we're going to go through is a business cycle. Everybody has a business cycle. This is session 2, by the way. You'll probably have already gotten 100 times your money on just the personal finances. Then we're going to go into the business cycle. I didn't know this when I was a kid, but everybody has a business cycle. Everybody is a business. There's 8 billion businesses on planet Earth. As a human being, your job is to get known for something, and to get known for something where people are actually willing to pay you for that service or that product. They see you as a valuable going concern, an entity that's valuable, right? And I remember hearing the saying once, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you ask for.
Yeah.
So this is where we actually lay out the individual and or the businesses. We streamline your business cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jared, when we discovered at our company about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, we stumbled across this idea that we could take an idea and monetize it very quickly. I actually got accused by a lot of people that I was monetizing too much. I'm like, okay, when did monetizing an idea become vilified, right? So we'll go through this. We'll show you guys how to monetize your ideas without going and manufacture them, without finishing the book, without becoming a celebrity. You don't
without
have to
having everything figured out. That's the big thing, is people get too caught up in the mechanics and they think they have to have everything figured out, and they think they have to have a completed product, and they don't. And it's really the speed at which you can execute on an idea that will determine how quickly you accumulate revenue, money, monetization. And we've just decoded a way to do that in an extremely short period of time. And for a lot of people, when they come into our system and they see how we launch products and launch ideas, they have a lot of questions, because it breaks a lot of rules that some people have baked into their head about how things ought to be. And so this one concept about speed and the actual process that we follow in order to execute on ideas, it's a monster.
And then what we'll do is we'll give you the data. We'll hit a button in microseconds. Boom. You go from being in the room with me to being in a room with a new 5 or 6 people. Then you're going to go over this exercise. Hey, what landing pages do you need to create? Who do you need to podcast with? Who could you be a guest on? Who could you have as a guest? What stages could you speak on? Is there an event you could host? Have you ever done a webinar? Could you do one? Who could you do one with? Website awareness, customer reviews, success stories. Like, we literally go, I'm reading out of the book. You fill in the blanks on these boxes. Mm-hmm. So valuable. Jared, you went to college, right?
Yep.
Did you blow out?
No, it took me a while to finish, because I kept getting sales jobs and making 120 grand a year, 140 grand a year. And
but if you would have had exercises like this every time you went, not homework and a test.
Yeah.
But practical exercises, would you have stayed more engaged, you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think the big thing is just, college leaves you with a very distorted view of how business works, because they teach you there how to become a mid-level manager in a big company that's already working. And for most of us, the reality is we have to start from nothing. We have an idea. We have a small business. We don't have access to teams that have forecasts and models and big ad budgets. Like, we literally have to get started from nothing. And so I think that's the big thing that you'll get from these 3 days is literally how to go from zero, like Grant was saying, connect with the marketplace, connect with the customer, collect the revenue, deliver the product, and then start scaling based on people, products, services, and things you need in order to grow.
So the answer is yes, you would have stayed more engaged.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually take you inside our deals, all our offers, so you guys can start copying them. Not copy the images or the names, but you can start modeling what's worked for us. We're going to actually show you some things, what's worked, what's broken. And then again, 25 minutes into it, I'll hit a button. Jared's actually the guy that hits the button. Boom, you immediately break up into these micro
breakouts.
Groups. You can't do that in a hotel room, by the way. You cannot do this in a physical, because some people are saying, hey, can I come physically? We can't do what we want to do with you if you're in the room. If you've ever been in a room and somebody said in a big room, hey, meet the guy next to you, well, look, that could take just getting the room back together, or taking a pee break can sometimes take 30 and 40 minutes to get people back in. We can literally, with technology today, click a button, have you in a different room. You go through the exercise. It's all laid out for you. Everybody does it. Everybody participates, which is super cool. We'll come back from that, discuss that, and then boom, that afternoon, I'm going to go into the perfect revenue cycle. What is your monetization cycle? What would it take if you had the perfect marketing and sales cycle so that you guys can start making some real money? Anyway, Jared, I just wanted to show them the book. I don't want to go through the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, and that was, he basically took you through a very brief overview of the first day. There's 3 more days. So, Grant, I told them about the conversation we had last night about the offer and leaving it up for today for everybody on here so they could still take advantage of it. So if you go to grantcardone.com/wealth, or you just click the little pop-up on the screen, then you can still take advantage of that offer. Grant wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to participate in this. So grantcardone.com/wealth, or just click that button below. You'll still get the same offer, the credit, the 2 courses, the business builder certification, the financial freedom certification, the swag box with the workbook. You get all of it, $5,100 at retail cost, and you guys can take advantage of it for $297. Question here.
Let me just say this, Jared, because some people are like, I don't want all this stuff. If you wanted to go just to the boot camp, you would wait until 35 days from now.
Yep.
And you would pay $3,000. If you guys, when you trust me on this, I'm going to give you information right now so that so this thing isn't a 3-day event, 35 days away. Mm-hmm. It's something that can start for you today on Sunday while you're watching football, while you're hanging out with the kids. You could start studying this material from your phone or your computer. All of it's digital. We deliver it to you. I am the delivery mechanism through your phone, and I'm going to start educating. I'm going to start in a way, indoctrinating you on financial freedom and getting you away from the brainwashing of scarcity that so many of us struggle with, impossibility that so many of us struggle with, right? Like, how am I going to do it? I'm going to show you how to get out of some of the traps you're in. So first it's the mental, and then we start working on, okay, what do you got to do for marketing? What do you got to do for the business plan? What are the opportunities in here? Now I'm going to do that for today, starting Sunday, and for the next 30 days.
Yep.
Then we do the boot camp. So you guys are going to come to the boot camp. You will not be who you are today. If you think you're strong today, you're going, like, when you hang around Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman, you just get stronger. So you can get stronger. Remember that everybody can get stronger, better, faster. If you're broken right now, you will also get better over the next 30 days. So that's why I want you guys to do that, because I don't want you to wait until the event to start changing what you're doing.
Yeah. Somebody asked a question. They said, how are assets always a liability? This is one of the big sayings that this was a huge, something you had said a few times. I think you probably said it 9 or 10 times before I actually understood what you were saying. And like really with some depth of understanding. Can you just explain in the context of maybe this, like what that means?
So look, if you take a simple, their assets are everywhere. Nobody's paying attention to their assets. Let's just take Jared's refrigerator. There's food in it. That's an asset. Now you guys take that asset for granted, but if all the grocery stores in America were shut down right now and you couldn't get apples and bacon and milk, you'd be like, God dang, man, this is valuable. You just take it for granted because you know you can go get some more. That asset in the refrigerator will become a liability when Jared loses electricity to the refrigerator. The moment the refrigerator no longer has electricity, those assets become liabilities. You follow what I'm saying? So if I accumulate, let's say I accumulate a lot of money, you know, who are you thinking about right now? Pablo Escobar. His cash assets became his liability. So when you make a lot of money, when you earn a lot of income, when your earnings go up, your asset to earn income becomes a liability, a tax liability. All assets, when accumulated in mass, will become a liability. The fact that Blackstone and BlackRock have so much cash coming in actually becomes a liability because now they have to go buy assets. And in many cases, they get reckless with how they use that money because they have so much money coming in.
Yeah, I like how you talk about comfort. You know, like people get to a place where they have some comfort and it's viewed as an asset. Like you've got enough money to where, you know, you've got groceries, you've got a car, you've got, you know, you're comfortable. Like you're not stressing out about money. But that also is the thing. Probably one of the biggest liabilities that people have is the money that they have in the bank.
Totally. You know, the loyal, dedicated, comfortable executive manager. We all know a manager in a company. Everybody's like, oh, he's been here forever. He knows where everything is. And he is an asset up until the point to where he is so locked into the way things have been done, he can never change. And he's now become a liability. Kevin Turner talked about this in the interview yesterday. Mm-hmm. You know, how to politely, you know, in a nice way, get rid of some of that dead weight. Everybody here knows that manager that I'm talking about. Was an asset, awesome person. Your mom or dad. Your mom or dad was a great asset for you until you wanted to go on your own. Now they're a complete liability. Because if you go to your mom and say, Mom, I want to go into business for myself, your parents are probably going to be like, you crazy. You shouldn't do that. But they were great when they were, you know, breastfeeding you. So all assets, friends, relatives, cash, cars, real estate. At some point, I will have so many apartments, they will actually become a liability for me because I could get too saturated in one market. See, every asset becomes a liability, and all liabilities, we're going to show you in this, in our workshop, we're going to show you how to take your liabilities and turn those into assets. Even your struggles are liabilities, but they could be assets if you presented them on stage the right way.
Yeah.
Handicaps can be assets.
So ideal person to attend currently own a business. You there? Yeah, no, the question was, who's the ideal person bootcamp? I don't currently business. Would I benefit? Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen.
You're so it sounds like the question is, what's the ideal person to come to the boot camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, well, let me just say, I'll just go over some scenarios of my lifetime. If I was 25 years old, if I was 18 years old, trying to figure out whether I should go to college or not, I would definitely spend this 297. If I was getting a job selling clothes, shoes, cars, plumbing, solar, I would definitely 1000%. Not only will you get involved in this explode. This is going to make you a superstar in your company. If you're a manager managing other people, this boot camp is going to show you actually how to start building incentive programs and motivational programs, picking the right people, putting together the right training. If you're a manager trying to get more production from other people, I would definitely come to this. You're a single mom. Maybe you work for a real estate company. Elena works with a lot of real estate agents at EXP, and you're getting started in real estate, or you've been in real estate a long time and you noticed everything just changed in real estate in the last 3 months. I would definitely come to this boot camp, because we're going to show you how to get your financial planning together, how to get your sales promotion material together, your marketing material together, how to close more deals, overcome people's objections, and how to follow people up. If you're $1 million producer right now, and you're like, 297, dude, ain't nothing I can learn at 297. Okay. I guarantee you're going to walk away and say, this guy gave me $1 billion worth of advice for 297 bucks. If you're an executive running a company, Kevin Turner that ran
Microsoft,
youngest CEO at Walmart, I guarantee you, Kevin Turner would get more out of this boot camp than everybody else in the boot camp, because his mind, he knows how to wrap this around situations he's been in and will be in. So I can't think, if you were homeless and somehow figured out how to get $297 together. By the way, if you got a 297 problem, if you got a problem that big, I bet you I can get you a scholarship. But this would get a homeless person off the streets, because the number of people that you're going to meet in the room, okay, that can help you by itself will be $1 million. The networking, the number one thing that people say about our stuff is the networking. The people that I'm around, the people that I met while I was there changed the quality of my life, and friendships. You'll make friends for years here.
Question is, I've gotten a bunch about 401ks. Some saying, do we clear it out now and while the market's down and pay the penalty and roll it all over into real estate? Another question was, should we pause putting additional money into the 401k? Maybe talk about this a little bit, because it came up all over the place.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think the 401k and the IRA are illusions created by Wall Street that somehow suggest if you put the money in there and leave it in there for the next 35 years or 20 years, or some of you only have 3 or 4 years before you retire somehow, and you're not going to pay taxes, somehow you're going to create wealth doing this. Nobody's ever created wealth with a retirement account. I've interviewed thousands of wealthy people. I've been around some super, super heavyweights. I have never had one of them say, oh, by the way, I recommend you get a retirement account. Mm-hmm. I had a billionaire recommend I get a plane. He did not recommend I get a retirement account. It just doesn't happen. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my God, man, I've been investing in my 401k. I get to reduce my tax bill. Yeah, okay, but not really. I don't mind paying taxes. I want to make money. I want my money to grow. The stock market lost 23% of all of its value since the first of this year. It added 700 points last week, gave it all back this week. Like, you guys are yo-yos. You're going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You need income. And 401ks do not provide passive income. Now, the reason most people get into a 401k is because it reduces your tax bill. Jared and I had lunch yesterday at Nobu, and I went over a couple of things with him that would reduce his tax bill, not just this year, but next year, the third year following, the fourth year, and the fifth year. And none of it requires him to get rid of his money where he can't go get it for the next, 25 years in your case, Jared, 26 years. So there are a lot of better opportunities for you guys other than Wall Street vehicles.
After yesterday, I feel like I'm just generally lost in life and learned the wrong things all along.
Yeah.
What high value skills should I be focused on right now?
Well, first of all, the dissonance that you're experiencing right now is zero, right? It is where everything starts. All change starts from like, okay, I don't know anything. The fact that, what's his name? Do you know?
I don't. They didn't put the names in here.
Yeah, make sure you guys add names so we give people credit for who's asking questions. But the fact that you don't know, bro, you are like so much farther ahead than people that think they know. See, some people can't even hear what I'm saying right now because they're still stuck on the IRA thing. You guys, you ask somebody, like this is a thing that Kevin Turner talked about. When you ask somebody that has put together $1 billion a question, a question that's put together billions of dollars, like just listen and agree. Don't listen and add your color to it. Like, but I don't know. Like the thing that I've learned is, man, I get around people more successful than me, and I'm like, okay, I take it as the gospel. Mm-hmm. I don't add my little tweak on it. So the fact that you've been kind of screwed up, indoctrinated, shut down, miseducated, that is perfect. So what you got to add now is we need a financial plan. We need a business. We got to pick a business, a vehicle, right? First, I need to know where I'm going. I'm going on a trip. I want to go to Vegas. Okay, good. I know where I want to go to Vegas. Now I need a car or transportation to get me there. And then as fast as I can get into the transportation to start moving that direction, then I'm going to figure out this is what's called build the plane on the way as you fly.
Yeah, fix the plane in the air.
Yeah, fix it in the air. So in the real world, it's like, okay, I have an idea to go someplace. What's your financial plan? Let's go to $1 million. Let's start with $1 million or 10 million or 100 million, whatever your number is. Then we're just going to back into it. This term reverse engineer. We're just going to move back into it and figure out who do I need to meet? Not what do I need to do? Who is senior to what? And there will be a who involved. It's impossible for you to do that by yourself.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that who piece? Because I think that's really important for people to understand here. If you don't know, Grant did a show during COVID called Undercover Billionaire, where they basically dropped him into a town, Pueblo, Colorado. He'd never been there before. They didn't tell him where he was going. They shaved his head. They made him change his name. They took away all of his contacts. Literally, he went to this town as a nobody. And the only thing they gave him was $100. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I think some people will relate to that because they're like, where do I go? And why you went after the who first.
So if you noticed in that show, I did that show because I wanted to prove to people, you don't have to be me. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have connections to build a $1 million business. You don't even need a good economy. Now you do need a commitment. So when I went and did that, when Discovery asked me to do that, I said, hey, could you build $1 million business in 90 days? I said, yeah, but I'm gonna build a $10 million business and I can do it in less than 90 days. What I did was I did to myself what I tell you guys to do, 10X everything and then short compressed time. Okay. So I shaved my head. I couldn't use my driver's license. Like I couldn't do anything. They gave me a car. I don't know. The car was worth the old truck was worth $3,000, $4,000. They gave me $100 and they gave me a blank phone, a phone that had no contacts in it. The deal was I can't call any of the people that I know. So my goal, the first 10 days was simply to start building contacts under the new name, Lewis Curtis. And they kept saying, well, when are you going to get a job? When are you going to go sell something? When are you going to go raise some money? I said, bro, I ain't doing that. I'm not going after money. I'm going after people. And they're like, well, when are we going to see something happen? I said, you're going to see plenty happen. Just hold on, son. Because people is the way to do everything. See, most of us, we're not taught this in school. We spend 12 years learning skills. We spend so much time learning, read, write, whatever, right? Home ec, what's that workshop? The woodworking I
Yeah,
did.
woodwork, auto shop or wood
Yeah,
shop.
gym
Yeah.
class. We spend all this time doing all this stuff. And then I'm like, well, when do you learn how to engage with people? When do I learn how to meet the right people? When do I learn how to communicate? When do I learn how to find out what people need? How do I introduce myself? Like, I spent the first 10 days in Pueblo, Colorado. All I was doing was, my goal was to meet 100 people in the marketplace, 100 qualified people. And to get the buzz going, hey, there's this guy in town that left his family in LA. I had to craft my story too. That was the other thing that people seem to not pay attention to. How do you explain to people that you don't have anything, but you have something to offer? Very, very difficult pitch to make. So what I did was I basically crafted a story. Hey, I left my wife and kids in California. They have all the money and all the credit cards. Okay, I came here to explore if I could do business in Pueblo. I don't have a place to sleep. I don't have any food. I don't have water. I got nothing. And I'm here to explore whether I can bring my family to Pueblo. I'm trying to find out what the people are like here and what the opportunities are. My pitch was excellent, okay? Because then people wanted to help me. And they're like, well, dude, what, you left all your money in LA? Everything my kids have. I've been wanting to make this move out of California for years. So I had to mock this up, right? And what's your name again? Louis Curtis. Okay. And so I told him, I said, I busted out in the 2008 real estate crisis. Oh, wow. I did too. And then what I did was I spent those first 10 days of the 90 days only meeting quality people. Okay. I did not spend any time with hacks. If you go back and watch that show, and we did it, Jared was excited about me doing it because we wanted to show the world, when you use the right strategies, you can actually build $1 million business with no money. We did this during COVID. 40 million people were let go. And I came up short of my 10 million. Built a $5.5 million business, bought a $1.7 million piece of real estate. And I did it without ever spending the $100.
Never did it, and did it in less than 90 days.
Yeah. So
I think we're gonna look back at that, and we're gonna that's something that over time we're gonna develop so much appreciation for. Like, it's gonna continue to I believe continue to grow for us. What would you?
We want to now. I want to scale that and be able to do that with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't need to start without a name. You don't need to shave your head. You don't need to go sleep in an RV. Most of you in the room don't need to be without food and water, but you do need to have a specific goal and a time period to accomplish it. And if I can help you by surrounding you with a bunch of the who people, other people that want to buy from you, do business with you, trade with you, it's going to make your life a lot easier. So the website, Jared, is grantcardone.com/wealth. Guys, this is going to end today. We're going to turn this thing off today. So we wanted to do a frequently asked questions. Some of you that didn't act yesterday, we wanted to give you a shot to take advantage of this today. It's a $5,200 offer for $297. All you have to do is show up at the event, because a lot of people are asking that. How do I get my credit? You got to register. You got to sign up today. You got to show up for the 3-day workshop, register each of the 3 days.
Yep.
On the third registration of the third day, you automatically get transferred $297 into our store for a credit to be used however you choose in the future. You can use it on anything you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to, today, what we'll do when you sign up today, we're going to immediately give you the financial certification.
Yep.
Training. That's about 80 hours, 60 hours. And then the business builder certification, that's 80 hours. You're going to do them in this order: financial first and then business. Don't mix these up. Financial, money first. You can share this with your kids. You own it for life. Share it with your employees if you want to. You guys that have 10 employees, you're basically paying $29 a person. So it's tremendous quality content. Now you're like, why would you do this cheap? Okay. There's 8 billion people on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. My goal is to make that. I want thousands and thousands of success stories that can go out and tell the world, dude, this guy, Grant Cardone, I'm telling you, changed my life. As that happens, I can reach more people. And over time, the prices of everything I do will go up because it's not me telling people to do it. It's you guys telling people. How many Jared Glants can I make? Jared was broke 10 years ago. Okay, he's 39 years old. I said, Jared, I guarantee you're going to be a millionaire. Just do what I tell you you're going to do. He's worth 15, maybe $20 million today. Maybe more than that, Jared. I don't know. Internet says you're worth 11 million. I know it's always wrong.
Yeah. So a couple people asked here the dates again. It's November 4th, 5th, and 6th. We did this. We set the times up so that it's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we're trying to accommodate everybody in all the different time zones that they're in. If you have questions, a couple people also asked like, hey, I've got a credit from another program that I purchased with you guys. If you call the office at 310-777-0255, we got guys there right now. They're ready to answer your questions that you have. It's 310-777-0255. If you have any particular like unique situations, just jump on the phone with our team and we'll get you those questions asked. Question here was, if we purchase this 3-day boot camp, does it certify our business, or do you just get the certification courses as a part of the offer? Yeah, I mean, the certifications is the programs. Like, this is all the information. Like, this is the thing that you go through, and at the end of this, you've completed our business builder certification, so that now you have that course completed, and then you can use that with your team. You know, you can use it with your family. Like Grant said, getting everybody on the same page is really important, because you know the money issues that you have, that I have. Like when Grant asked that question yesterday, he said, how many people had parents that told them, when you grow up, you need to get rich? I couldn't believe how many people said no. My parents never told me that. And so getting the people around you on the same page with this information is going to be really important. And so you'll get access to the 80-hour business builder certification, the 60-hour financial freedom certification, so that you can use that in your company and with your people.
And Jared, we've already got submissions on the number of people that want to do the pitch off.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. Have we picked a date with Pete Vargas to do that extra free training I talked about?
Yeah. So usually that happens on that Wednesday, which would be
I was thinking, Jared, I was thinking about something a little different. I was thinking about doing something sooner than that. Like,
okay.
That he could do a special night briefing on the pitch off, and bring in, you know, I think we said yesterday we're going to have 300 people.
Yeah. Because
we can't do that. We can't have 300 people in the actual pitch off, but we can have Pete give a 60-minute training on how to set up a pitch, right? That's what I'd like to do 2 weeks before the event, like maybe in 10 days to do that. So anybody that registers today, I'll do this. Everybody that takes advantage of this today, Pete Vargas's time, he charges $50,000 to $100,000 for these presentations for companies. I actually know 2 companies he's doing for right now. I'm gonna have Pete do this for anyone that signs up today, and we'll try to do it in 7 to 10 days. When you sign up today, I'm going to give you a link. He's going to help you craft your pitch. He's going to actually show you the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you need to do to open. You could be in an elevator, or you could be trying to meet Barack Obama or Donald Trump.
You could be on a webinar. You could be a webinar.
You could be doing a webinar. How do you craft your story? There's an exact start, change, stop. There's an ABC thing that you do, okay, in pitching, and most people don't know.
Yeah. He calls it the signature talk model.
Yeah, signature talk, yeah. And so either Pat or Pete will do that, but those guys are freaking geniuses. That's probably worth $10,000 to every person that comes, that shows up for that. So it's called the pitch. Okay. It's the perfect pitch. And you need it in life. You need to know how, this is what Jared, you said, what do you think people need to know today? They need to know how to communicate.
Yeah.
How do I get in front of Oprah? You know, how do you get a meeting with Kevin Hart? How do you call his office? First, you got to get through the agents. You got to get through if you're a salesman, how do you get through the
Gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper. So all of life is a pitch, right? And so let's set a date for that. Maybe we just go ahead and set it right now, Jared. And then Pete can help us with it. Let's shoot for the 16th. That's Saturday.
That's Sunday.
Is he going to be with me and Russell Brunson next week?
No, I don't think he's going to be at that event, but he's going to be out here.
Let's just set it up for next Saturday, man. 9 o'clock in the morning. Or you want to do it at night?
Let me just make sure when he's available, because I know he's got a ton of stuff, but I'm thinking maybe during the middle of the week, maybe better.
Okay. So guys, again, what you get is you're going to get the workbook. You're going to get all the swag. Okay. You get access to the 3-day interactive. Everybody gets a VIP seat virtually, like you are front row, best seat in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're connected to everything. You miss nothing. There's no better seat than being in the interactive. Okay. You get access to all the breakout sessions. Every breakout session we do over 3 days, you get access to it. You're going to get access to the pitch off the second night and actually get to witness 20 people or so that actually get to be in the pitch. You may be one of those people. Okay. Where we give away 10 to 15, maybe $20,000. You also get, starting today, somebody asked, when does the training start? The 3-day workshop is on November
4th, 5th, and 6th.
But the training starts today. As soon as you click the button, we're going to drop you the financial certification program, and you're going to start moving through that material. Okay. That is 65 hours. That'll carry you through this week. Probably carry you through the next week too. Just give me 2 hours a day on your way to work, driving around. Just let me be in your head. Okay. You throw it on your phone, download it, bang, I'm there for you. Grant Cardone for the next 3 weeks. You give me 21 days, I'll change your mind about almost everything. You give me 21 days in the 3-day workshop, I'll change your mind and I'll change your habits. They say it takes 21 days to change your habits. Just give me the next 21 days. Worst case is you blew $297. All right. Come to the workshop. I give you a credit at my store. Just register every day. When you get done with the financial certification, I'm going to download the business certification so you can start figuring out what businesses are best for you to start building out, buying a business, scaling out your business, staying in the business that you're in. Okay. Working for somebody else, how to be the second guy and become a millionaire or a multimillionaire.
Facts.
I don't know why. The best way to become a multimillionaire is to be the second, third, or fourth guy. You don't have to be the first guy.
I remember you told me that one time. You said, hey, the best thing you could do to make money is to help somebody solve a problem that's got money.
Yeah, it's not to go. You guys go, y'all go start from scratch. I didn't do that on Undercover Billionaire. I didn't sell one thing except myself. And I did not start one thing. I went and found people that already had something started. Only 40% of the businesses in America make money. Most of them are losers. So, you know, and look, a lot of people fail in their education because they don't have a vehicle to pick when they're done with the education. And many of you are failing because you simply just do what you think you're good at. And it's just a bad business. Anyway, we'll sort all that out. You're going to sort it out in the next 21 days. And when you get to the boot camp, when you and your wife, there's nothing wrong, by the way, you signing up for this and you, the wife and the kids watch the workshop together, or you watch it from your office and you play it on your TV and you bring your employees in. So it's $297, show up, we credit the $297. And in the next 7 days or so, you're going to get this extra Pete, the perfect pitch. What do you call it? Jared, you said what?
Signature talk.
The signature talk. What is your signature talk? And I'm going to have Pete deliver that to anyone who signs up today as another bonus.
All right, let's see here. We got this question here. It says, let's see here. How can I start getting my team built if I don't have the money to pay for people's value or time?
Say that again, Jared. I'm sorry.
How can I start building my team if I don't have money to pay people for their value or time?
Yeah, well, what we need to do, we need to figure out why you don't have money.
Exactly.
So that is most of our offers, and this is on the second day of the boot camp, but most of our offers, and you'll see this in the business certification plan too. Most of our offers, most of the products and service we offer is not to solve a problem for a customer. It's to solve a problem for our sales team. Like I do stuff all the time. I do stuff, we put together programs that aren't, I mean, people got to want them, but the number one reason we have it is so our sales team has something easy to sell. Most companies never think about the product, the service, or the margin from the viewpoint of the sales team. So I'm going to tell you that we just need, you don't need to have the money. You need to have products and offers that have enough margin in them. I've done programs before where I paid it all to the salespeople or 50%, but it had the margin to do that.
Yeah. And one of the things that we will talk about at the Interactive Bootcamp when we start getting into scaling and leadership is how you can sell people on a story. Like we're getting ready to make a move to hire 2 more executives in the company. Like the most compelling thing I can offer them isn't going to be a monster salary. It's going to be showing them the future that we have in front of us based on where we've been and where our trajectory, and showing them how they can participate in the upside of all of that. So like if you're in a position where you don't have people, like you need to figure out what Brandon's going to be talking about at the Interactive Bootcamp, because that's where you're going to learn how to build that plan. He calls it the employee maturity model. And they have a protocol they run called the PPF framework. And it basically tells you exactly what you need to do to engage employees and to get them married behind the vision of the company so that you can actually get better qualified people that'll come work with you for less money than they can make somewhere else, because you understand the path and how to sell them more on just a job. That's one of the big things that Brandon will talk about at the Interactive Bootcamp. Question here is there any way to access this outside of those dates? So this event is ran like a live event. The magic of this event is the fact that everybody's there together. We're networking. You're going off into these breakout rooms. You're having these exercises with people. You're moving through the content and the information together. And so just assume this event is being held online, but it operates exactly like a live event. If you were coming to Miami to one of our other live events that we run. So you just want to show up for this and participate in it live. Another question here was, will I still be able to get the deal later this week? Unfortunately, the deal has to come down. We reward people that take action fast. So, as Grant said, the plan was to take it down yesterday. There were a lot of people that had questions about the program and how it worked that we weren't able to get to. So he wanted to do this FAQ so that we could get some of those last questions answered and get you guys to the point where you can make a decision on this. So the offer is ending today. GrantCardone.com/wealth, GrantCardone.com/wealth. Take advantage of this before it comes down. We only offer this deal once a year. So make sure you get in now, you take advantage of it, and you get to this boot camp because it will be a game changer for you.
If by the way, Jared, somebody had, like, for whatever reason, you need 2 days or 3 days on your credit card, Just go to call 310-777-0255. My team will help you out. 310-777-0255. We always have somebody on that'll answer the phone, try to help you out, do whatever we can to make it work for you. If you're committed, if you guys are committed in your heart to change the quality of your life, I'm never going to not help you.
Yeah. Yeah. So call the office if you have questions or unique circumstances or something like that. 310-777-0255.
Yeah, but probably if you're really committed, you can probably figure a way to solve this, resolve this, handle this. Go to mom, grandma, somebody, and hey, I need to put $297 on a credit card, and I want to bring you to this event with me. Maybe you bring them. Like, this might be the first sales pitch you need to make.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't figure out $297, guys, how are you going to figure out $2 million? This is what a man told me when I was 25 years old. I still had this, there was this workshop that I was going to go to. It was like 4 hours long to learn how to close deals. And I'm like, well, how much is it? And he's like, $400. I said, $400? God dang, dog. Now, this is 35 years ago. $400 was like $1,600. It was a lot of money. And it was a lot of money to me. And I still value, by the way, $400 today. Mm-hmm. Just so you guys know, I don't throw money around. And he said, Grant, if you can't spend $400, I was selling cars at the time. I didn't like selling cars. He's like, if you can't spend $400, why would you expect anybody to buy a $40,000 car from you? You won't spend $400. I said, what do you mean, man? It's $400. That's a lot of money, man. And he's like, if you won't spend $400 on yourself, why should people trust you to invest with you? And I was like, whoa, man. He's like, no wonder you have trouble selling stuff. You think $400 is a lot of money. And then he said this, you want to be a millionaire? I said, yeah. He's like, don't worry about $400. Worry about 4 million. And that really changed. That ripped off some of the scarcity thinking. If you guys, what's the word? Vibe with that kind of, oh my God, if that hits you, just throw it in the chat. If you can't spend 400, how the hell are you ever going to get to 400 million or 40 million or 4 million? Mm-hmm. We're worried about the wrong things. So if that hits you, like, just throw it in the chat. Oh man, shit, what am I thinking? Scarcity. It's the scarcity mentality. If you've been suffering, if you were brought up to believe $297 is a lot of money, throw it in the chat, scarcity.
Yeah, I've got another question here. Somebody asked, will this information work in Australia? 1000%. Everything that we cover in the boot camp will work in Australia. It'll work in the UK. It'll work in Singapore. I mean, we're talking about basic, like, business strategy. Like,
well, we've been in Australia. This has worked in real estate in Australia, and mechanical space, and there, chiropractors, dentists. We got a lot of business that comes out of Australia. Why? Because they speak English there, so it's easy for people to have the messaging. Mm-hmm. Singapore, same thing. The UK, across the UK, Canada, we do a lot of business outside the United States. A lot of stuff in South America where people do speak English there. We do a tremendous amount. So this is not about some country-friendly concept. Yeah. This is about people, human beings. And I said this yesterday. I said, look, all business, while people are different, cultures are different, religions, beliefs, morals, codes, rules, they're different in different parts of the world. Financial statements aren't any different anywhere. Mm-hmm. The household financial statement in China is identical to the one in America. One is in Chinese and one is in English, but they're identical financial statements. There's nothing different. Not a line is different. And same thing for business.
All right, let's see here.
I think my team's telling me that the scarcity thing, a lot of people just banging on that scarcity thing.
Yeah.
Now, guys, you can't think about $297 being a lot of money. You got to start thinking about, I am going to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on training and education. You're going to spend tens of millions. I'm going to bless you guys with this. I am affirming that everyone in the room, I'm blessing you with the concept that God, the higher power, that the universe will ensure that you spend millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars on education. You will waste hundreds of millions of dollars on new connections. See, I want to bless you guys with prosperity and abundance. And to do that doesn't mean you just have a lot of money. It means you're willing to use money. You're willing to use money. You're buying art now. You're spending millions on art. You're spending millions on fuel for your Gulfstream or your fleet of Gulfstreams. Okay. Your 4 homes around the world that you know were stupid purchases cost you millions of dollars in payments and property taxes and maintenance. See, this is what I was saying yesterday. I want to upgrade your problems. Who wants some rich people's problems? You know, you give millions of dollars to political campaigns. All the charities want you to give money. Your phone constantly rings from charities and fundraisers. Give us another million, please. Give us another 5 million, please. Give us another 10 million, please. See, these are the kind of problems you guys want. You know, somebody stole, I bless you with the idea that someone stole $5 million from you. You know, that your legal fees, you spend millions in legal fees every year. See, you guys got to think big, man. When you think big, it comes with all the big stuff, right? And I'll promise you, okay, that life that I just described, where you got all these new rich person problems, everybody should affirm this. I have rich people's problems. Because those problems won't make you any happier, but they sure are better than poor people problems.
Facts. Question here said, what will this program teach me about marketing? Well, I think that look, I think if you guys can look at what Grant's been able to create, it really, everything that we did started exploding about 2014. And that was when 4 years of experimentation on social media, with promotion, with marketing, like that 4 years from 2010 to 2014, Grant really started figuring out the promotion and marketing game. And then what happened from 2014 to 2022 can't be explained like anything else other than complete rocket ship explosion in sales and revenue every year. Like the graph is like this. And it's what happens when you actually figure out how to drive marketing and awareness at an omnipresent level. And then you figure out how to convert all of that attention into money. And that's what we're going to be breaking down in the money or the marketing section, is exactly how to create that omnipresent marketing and what you can do without spending any money. See, that's important. A lot of people don't know that we got where we're at without spending a lot of money. And, you know, these social platforms that everybody has access to, these are tools that can be used highly effectively without spending money. And because Grant figured out how they work organically, when we got around to spending money, it was like rocket fuel, because we understood the messaging, we understood contacting, we understood the relationship, we understood what content people wanted and what content worked. And then we were able to really just throw gas on the fire when we started spending money. But the thing about marketing is your first move should not be to spend more money on marketing. Your first move needs to be to fortify your messaging, your distribution, your engagement process, because we could go into businesses and have them spend no money on marketing and increase their sales. And we're going to share with you guys exactly what we did to go from no social audience to 16 million, from no email list to 4 million records on the email list, We're going to show you how we do things like get 214,000 people to sign up and register and give us their email address for an event that we run on a Saturday. We're going to break all that down for you guys at the Interactive Bootcamp. It's $297, grantcardone.com/wealth. If all you did was show up for this one session on marketing, it would be worth 10x what you are investing in this. Plus, on top of that, you're getting the credit in the store. You're getting the additional programs, the business builder certification, the financial freedom certification, 140 hours of content. We're sending you a swag box so you have a workbook to track everything and refer back to. That workbook, once you're done with it, that workbook should be your Bible for the next 6 months in your business. It should be the thing you constantly are coming back to. You're constantly going over it. You're constantly reaffirming and re-implementing the things that you've learned. And that's why we thought it was important enough to send out a book to everybody rather than just have you guys follow along virtually. Let's see here. Grant, I'm 28. I've got 40K in the bank and I'm an employee. What's my next move?
So I wouldn't have 40 grand in the bank. I would get rid of the 40 grand. All you guys are sitting on cash. He's like, oh, I got 40,000. I'm like, you need to get rid of it and be broke all the time. If you guys are down to your last $5,000, get rid of the 5,000. What do you get rid of it? You invest, number one, in yourself. Part of that 40 grand, he should invest in him getting new information from new people, new network. So part of that 40 grand, he should invest this year in himself. The second thing is in his own business. I don't mean he goes out and starts a new business. I mean, he needs to get better. You need to get better at building the business that you have. So I would reinvest. I was a salesman. I was 29 years old, 30 years old, working for another guy. I was investing in that company all the time, in making myself more productive inside that company. Like when I didn't go ask the company to get me a secretary, I went and got a secretary out of my income. I don't know why you guys think the company's got to give you all this. I made more money at that company. I made more money than the guy that owned the company did. And then when I left, the company actually failed because I was so productive. So that's what I would do. I'd invest first in yourself, second in your own capacity to generate more production. Could be another salesman, could be another person, could be somebody doing admin for you. And then the third thing is, if you got any money left over, I'd throw it all in my real estate deals. And I'm just telling you what I do, what I would do if I were you, because that's what I'm doing and I'm me.
And that's what I'm doing too.
And Jared can tell you, man, I throw all my money in my real estate deals. I don't keep a bunch of dough. I don't keep dough because when I go back to zero is the starting point. And what happens is that gentleman that has 40 grand set aside, he thinks he has money set aside. I don't want him to think that he has money set aside. Notice his whole premise is based on his whole 40 grand. I want him to come to me and say, bro, I ain't got nothing. What do I do? Because shit gets simple when you got nothing. You do stuff that gets you something. And so like I'm always at zero. I'm always at zero in my marketing. I assume no one knows me. How many times do I reintroduce myself? My name's Grant Cardone. I've written 8 books. I've helped millions of people online. We've taken in $1.2 billion worth of sales on the internet. And we've helped, 55 million people have logged into our Cardone University. We're virtually giving you Cardone University today. If y'all don't know that, I'm literally giving you 80% of what's in Cardone University with the financial planning and the business certification. The boot camp, we have helped tens of thousands of people in this boot camp. Some of them do spectacular things with it. Some of them do average things with it. Some people do nothing. Look, we're talking to you right now, the people that are going to do something exceptional. And written 8 books, 21 best-selling business programs that have done tens of millions of dollars. I bought $5 billion worth of real estate. I've raised $1 billion on the internet crowdfunding. Forbes calls me the #1 marketer in the world. I'm a husband, 2 beautiful kids. We have about 800 employees across all our companies. And I came from nothing. I had nothing. I started with nothing. Now, why am I reintroducing myself to you? Because nobody knows, man. They don't know. You guys got to keep remarketing yourself all the time. Same thing with money, man. You got to keep operating with zero. Start again.
And this is one of the big, there's 10 commandments of marketing that we're going to share. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek because Grant's kind of alluding to it right now. And these are 10 commandments that have made all the difference in how we approach marketing. And this one is a big one. It's assume nobody sees it. Assume nobody sees it. Assume nobody hears it. Assume they didn't see the promotion. Assume they didn't see the offer. Assume they didn't see the email. Assume they didn't see the missed call or the voicemail you left. Assume they didn't see the business card that you dropped off when you went over and stopped at the house. Across everything you do, assume nobody sees it. Grant spends a little bit of time on this, but there's 10 of these that you have to bake into your marketing if you want to have a shot at being successful. And that's what Grant's talking about right now. He's assuming that nobody's seen it. He's assuming nobody's seen him always. And having some of those stable data points for you to operate with will change the way you're marketing, not just the way it impacts people, but the way it impacts your revenue.
You see, you guys think that people, just because they met you or because you spent an hour and a half with them showing them a piece of real estate or a car, or you're a chiropractor and you've worked on them 3 times, you think that they remember you. I assume no one ever remembered me.
Mm-hmm.
I assume no one has my card, my contact, and I assume no one's thinking about me and that no one knows my name. And I also assume that no one's ever seen my marketing. Like for instance, you guys that are on right now that haven't taken advantage of grantcardone.com/wealth, I just keep assuming you hadn't seen the link yet because you ain't stupid. There's no way you're stupid, so you must be blind. You can't hear because you hadn't seen it and hit it. You haven't seen the value. It's not because you don't believe in me, by the way. I know you guys believe in me. Look what I've done. The issue is, do you believe in you? And that is why people don't sign up for things like this. It's not because you don't trust me. It's because you don't trust you. And the problem with that is if you quit trusting you, you're done. You have to keep investing in yourself. I've invested in hundreds and hundreds of programs, courses, books, some of which did not change my life in any significant way. But then I'd run into a course or something every once in a while, right? Yeah, thanks, Jared. That was like 2 hours ago. I'd run into something every once in a while, and all of a sudden, boom, man, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, that course changed everything for me. And then somebody said to me one day, well, how do you know the other ones didn't prepare you for this one to change you? So guys, you're going to keep reinvesting in yourself. You're going to keep investing in your kids, man. Okay? Cool. You're going to keep investing in your kids. You're going to keep eating breakfast. You're going to keep waking up every morning. Not everything results in like bang, but all the things put together get you the bang. So don't, before I go here today, I'm pleading with you. Today is an opportunity for you to recommit to yourself, to let the universe know, hey, I believe in me. Okay. When you say no to an offer like I've made you, and there's no rational reason to say no, then you're saying no to you because you don't believe in you. I'm pleading with you to give yourself another chance, to give your family a chance at this. Give your dreams another chance. By the way, when you don't do this today, you're actually giving up on your dreams. This whole law of attraction thing, and people like law of attraction, it is the law of action. The actions you take will attract or detract. When you say no to this, you're saying, I don't want 10X. I don't want to grow my sales and revenue. I don't want to grow my marketing, because that's all we're going to do for 3 days. And for the next 21 days is I'm going to prep you to be a master at marketing and a master at income and a master of personal finance. So when you say no today, I just want you guys to understand. When you say no today, you're saying no to you and your future, not me. I'm good. Our company's great. We'll do $150 million this year. We help a lot of people. I want to help you, though. Again, I'm starting Sunday with 0. I'm like, I need to go help another person today. For those of you who are wondering, why is this guy doing this on a Sunday? Well, maybe I actually want to help you. The banks aren't open today. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, Deutsche Bank. They're not open. They're not open to help you. The schools aren't open today. Harvard's not open today to help you, but we are. Okay. And if you went to church this morning, good for you. But church cannot help you with your finances, cannot help you with your marketing, cannot help you with your personal financial indoctrination, illiteracy. A church is not going to help you, cannot help you. It's not designed to help you with your follow through or your network. We're here to help you with that today. So I'm pleading with you. If you don't believe in yourself right now, believe in me. Mm-hmm. Trust me. Trust me. All you got to do is show up for the boot camp, and I'm going to give you a credit at my store for the full amount. So take advantage of that before my team takes this down. I love you guys. I believe in you. 10X your day, 10X your week, 10X your month. Let's 10X the rest of the year. But most importantly, let's 10X the rest of your life.
Dang. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. Look forward to catching up with everybody who took advantage of the offer today this month for the Pete Vargas bonus training. It's going to blow your mind. Can't wait to introduce you to him. And most importantly, can't wait to see all of you guys at the Interactive Bootcamp coming up. We'll see you there. All right, and we're out. Great job, guys. Thanks for putting it all together, getting in there on a Sunday. Knock